She was giggling with her friends on the patio, bragging that he foots the bill for Netflix, Disney Plus, and the fiber internet, while she curls up with her ex almost every night to watch everything new. I just stood there quietly, hands in my pockets, wearing the faintest smile. Hours later, when she finally grabbed the remote and opened the app, the profile name that greeted her made the plastic slip from her fingers and clatter to the floor. It was a lazy Saturday afternoon. I was out in my shop behind the garage, hand sanding a gorgeous piece of old barn oak for a coffee table I'd been meaning to finish for months. The roll-up door was cracked open to let the dust escape, and the breeze carried every word from the back deck straight to me like it was on a silver platter. That I'm 35. I own a custom woodworking business. The house is paid off, left to me by my grandfather, and life has been good to me. Megan, 31, had moved in roughly 8 months earlier. She'd been let go from her agency job and was supposedly building her own freelance marketing gig. When she started panicking about money, I told her to relax. Don't worry about rent. Don't worry about utilities, just focus on getting the business running. I genuinely thought I was being the kind of man you're supposed to be when you love someone. Giving her runway, not keeping score. Jessica must have asked something about her ex because I suddenly heard the name Liam float across the yard. Megan always brushed him off as some dumb fling from when I was 23. Oh my God, Liam is the funniest, Megan said, practically squealing. We've got this whole routine now. Tuesdays and Thursdays when Jake's working late at the shop, he just comes over. My stomach turned to ice. I set the random orbit sander down without thinking and drifted toward the side door, staying in the shadows. Jake never suspects anything? Carly asked. Megan snorted, actually snorted. Jake? Please. He's married to that workshop. Half the time he doesn't even know what month it is. And the best part? He pays for literally everything. The streaming, the 1 gig internet, all of it. Liam and I just binge whatever just dropped on Jake's tab. It's honestly perfect. Jessica laughed so hard she wheezed. So wait. He bankrolls Netflix and Disney Plus, and you watch it all with your ex? Pretty much, Megan said, and the 3 of them lost it again. Liam started calling him the patron saint of movie nights. It's our little running joke. I stayed perfectly still behind the doorframe, feeling the world tilt under my boots. It wasn't just the betrayal, though that burned plenty. It was the lazy, vicious contempt dripping from every word. My workshop, my long hours, the money I was proud to earn with my own hands, had been reduced to a punchline for girls on lounge chairs sipping the rose I'd paid for. Something white-hot flashed behind my eyes, but almost instantly it cooled into a razor-sharp calm. I didn't march out there. I didn't roar. I simply turned, walked back to my bench, picked up my phone, and let a thin, humorless smile settle on my face. They assumed the guy who works with his hands must be simple. They were about to learn how precise those hands can be when they're holding more than a chisel. While their laughter still echoed off the fence, I sat on my stool and began quietly dismantling the life she'd been enjoying at my expense. First, the punchline itself, the streaming accounts. I opened Netflix. Her profile picture was still that couple selfie from the beach trip I'd paid for. I went into Manage Profiles and changed her name to Megan plus Patron St. Liam. Did the exact same thing on Disney Plus and Hulu. Then I signed every device out worldwide and reset the master passwords to a 22-character nightmare I memorized on the spot. Next, money. She had a supplementary card on my account for groceries and emergencies. The statements showed a very different definition of emergency: Lululemon, brunch, blowouts. I reported that card lost/stolen and killed it instantly. A new one would arrive in my name only. Then I drained the joint checking account we'd opened for shared expenses, into which she had deposited exactly $0, and closed it for good. Finally, the house. My house. Title in my name only, mortgage in my name only. Legally, she was nothing more than a month-to-month tenant who happened to pay zero rent. I pulled up a rock-solid 30-day notice to vacate template, filled it out, printed it, signed it, and set it on the corner of my desk like it was just another work order. Whole thing took maybe 14 minutes. I felt strangely light, like I just put down a heavy load I hadn't realized I was carrying. I picked the sander back up and went back to work, the rhythmic hum drowning out the last of their giggles. Let them laugh a little longer. The joke was about to land, and it was going to land hard. Update 1 to 48 hours later, the support here has been unreal. Thank you. You asked for a quick update. Here's what the last 2 days looked like. The girls finally left around sunset. Megan bounced into the shop all sunshine and asked if I wanted her to order Thai. My treat, she chirped, waving her phone. I told her sure, sounds great, and followed her inside like nothing was wrong. I leaned against the kitchen island and watched the show. She tapped place order, frowned, tapped again harder, refreshed the app, tried again. Ugh. This stupid app is glitching, she muttered. It keeps declining my card. That's weird, I said, tone flat. Try another one? She didn't have another one with money on it, obviously. After a few more failed swipes, she huffed. Whatever, just use yours. Remind me the number again? Nah, I said. Not tonight. She blinked. Not tonight? What's that supposed to mean? Means I'm not paying for dinner. The color drained from her face. Something in my voice told her the game had changed permanently. She didn't say another word, just turned and walked into the living room. 10 minutes later, the TV came on. An hour after that, I heard a shriek and the unmistakable crack of plastic hitting hardwood. I strolled to the doorway. She stood frozen in front of the screen, remote in pieces at her feet. The Netflix home screen glowed cheerfully, and right there in the profile list, Megan plus patron St. Liam. She whipped around. What the hell is this? Just updated it to be more honest, I said. Check Hulu and Disney Plus too. I was consistent. You were eavesdropping on me? She hissed. Patio door was open, Megan. You were practically broadcasting. Then came the flood. None of it was serious. I was overreacting. Her friends exaggerated. I was controlling, blah, blah, blah. I let her talk herself hoarse. When she finally stopped to breathe, I walked to the desk, picked up the envelope, and handed it over. 30-day notice to vacate, I said. You're a tenant. Tenancy is terminated effective immediately. You have until the 9th of next month. She stared at the paper like it might bite her. You're throwing me out? I'm enforcing the law on my own property, yes. Her card is dead. The joint account is zeroed and closed, and every streaming service now requires a password she'll never guess. She tried to swing at me then, wild, sloppy. I stepped aside and told her calmly not to make it worse. She crumpled onto the couch and cried. Not remorse, just pure rage that the gravy train had derailed. The phone calls started the next morning. Her mother screaming that I was heartless, Liam trying to sound tough from a blocked number. You need to back off, bro, etc. I handled both conversations with a smile and hung up satisfied. Update 2 1 week later. It's been 7 days since the remote hit the floor. The fallout has been gloriously predictable. Megan barricaded herself in the guest room for 48 straight hours. I left a plate outside the door once. It came back untouched. Day 3, she emerged looking like a zombie and tried the, "I'm so sorry. It was a stupid mistake. I love you" routine. I pointed at the notice still sitting on the kitchen island. 27 days left. The apologies quickly morphed into negotiation. Therapy, cutting Liam off, getting a real job, paying half the bills, whatever I wanted. I repeated the same line. "You didn't just cheat. You mocked me to my face while I was 30 feet away paying for your wine. That's not fixable." Packing began in earnest. Jessica and Carly showed up looking like they were attending a wake, refusing to meet my eyes while they hauled boxes. I just kept working in the shop. The scream of the table saw made the perfect soundtrack to S for Liam. I did send the gift. Massive gourmet basket delivered straight to his office. Aged cheddar, truffle popcorn, 2 bottles of good Cabernet, a high-end air popper, and a $100 AMC gift card. The note read, "To my favorite leading man. Sorry the series got canceled mid-season. Thanks for the memories. Your loyal patron." He lost his mind, apparently. Screamed at Megan that I was a stalker, that she'd ruined his life, then blocked her everywhere. The side chick safety net vanished the second it got uncomfortable. Jessica and Carly? I know the owner of their agency casually. Sent him a breezy email asking about industry standards for discretion and whether it's normal for employees to coach friends on deceiving partners who pay the bills. Didn't name names. Didn't need to. Word is there was an emergency ethics training and both women are now radioactive for any decent project. Megan's parents finally told her to grow up and come home if she had nowhere else to go. Turns out mooching runs in the family tree. She has 23 days left as of this post. The house is slowly purging itself of her clothes, her candles, her half-dead plants. Every box that disappears into that overpriced storage unit feels like interest on a loan I never agreed to give. Final update, 3 months later she's gone. The last box left on the 30th day with a paid moving crew. I assume mommy and daddy footed that bill too. She set the key on the counter without a word and never looked back. I didn't feel triumph or bitterness, just a deep, clean breath. The oak coffee table is finished and sitting in the living room. Solid, honest, beautiful. The house is quiet in the way only an empty house can be quiet, and I love it. Word traveled fast in our small city. Clients dried up for her consulting business the minute people heard the broad strokes. She packed up and moved 2 hours away, back into her childhood bedroom at 31 years old. Liam's long-term girlfriend found out. Someone made sure of that, torched his reputation, and left him single and humiliated at work. Jessica and Carly are still employed but permanently benched. No promotions, no big accounts, just the slow death of a stalled career. That I got one last email from Megan about a month ago. Paragraphs of regret, therapy, self-reflection, and the inevitable ask for a second chance. I thought about it for maybe 4 minutes, remembered the word patron saint delivered with that sneer, and replied with a single line, "I hope life treats you kindly from here." Then I filtered her address straight to trash. This was never about revenge for revenge's sake. It was about removing a parasite, cauterizing the wound, and taking my life back. Turns out when you stop carrying dead weight, you can build some pretty incredible things with the strength you get back. And I'm just getting started.